Global War 36 enthusiast here with Operation 20 Core, turn 9.5, Commonwealth. It is July 1940. Commonwealth has two tech rolls. First, I tried for radar at a 7 or higher. PB generated an 8, so I succeeded. And I complete that tech. Second, I tried for long-range aircraft at an 8 or higher. PB generated an 8, so I barely succeeded. Get to stage 3. Okay, let's see. Oh, I guess I'll move this up. All right. Purchases. After convoy rating, Great Britain has 23 IPP to spend. I will purchase, or I will upgrade 1 militia to an infantry for 2, 2 militia for 4, that's 6, 1 airborne infantry for 3, that's 9, 1 colonial infantry for 4, that's 13, and I'll begin construction of a fortification on the border of Lower Egypt and Western Egypt for 5, that's 18. I'll lend-lease the Free French 1 infantry for 3, that's 21, so I'll save 2 IPP. FEC has 17 IPP to spend. I'll get 1 militia for 2, 2 Gurkhas for 8, that's 10, 1 artillery for 4, that's 14, and I'll save 3 IPP. ANZAC has 8 IPP to spend. I'll get 1 infantry for 3 and then complete the fortification in Sydney for 5, that's 8. I guess housekeeping before combat movement. Boston Bruce took these 2 naval transports. They were here in C-Zone P59, so they had this minor dockyard that they could start from to do strategic naval movement, but in version 4.2, if you start at a major naval facility, or if you're starting a C-Zone adjacent to a major naval facility, then you can strategic naval move 5, but you can only strategic naval move 3 if you start from a minor one. So 1, 2, 3, the furthest that Boston Bruce could get would be C-Zone P32. So these 2 naval transports, instead of being in port in Tokyo, are now in port in Nanking. Then the second bit of housekeeping is my error. I got a French naval transport, and I thought I could strategic naval move way down here to South Africa, but that's the Free French don't have strategic naval movement, an allotment for strategic naval movement. So we just put that French naval transport in port in Malta. And because I thought I could move that Free French naval transport, I had these 2 infantry move to South Africa to defend it, and I left Cape Town open, so Panzer J pounced on that. So just that's what I get for not knowing the rules. I got schooled by Panzer J. I tip my hat. Okay, so combat. First, I'm gonna attack in Scotland. So Scotland's kind of interesting. It's mountainous, but notice this little part of Scotland, this little part that sticks down there. I'm sure someone knows their geography and knows what that peninsula is. But this part of Scotland touches C-Zone A17. So I'm going to amphibiously assault from A17, and I'm going to try to get the naval units that Germany has there in Scotland, which is 2 destroyers, a torpedo boat destroyer, and 2 naval transports. He has 16 pips for infantry class units at 4. And interestingly, that 16 pips is exactly what I tried to roll when defending against Panzer J on his turn. So he attacked the Danish coastal defense ship. That was 6 pips. Denmark was 2 pips. That brings me up to 8. And then Slovakia was an infantry that missed 2 times. So that's another 8 pips. So 16 pips, but I didn't get a hit. That would be tasty if I attack up here into Scotland, 16 pips, and he doesn't get a hit. So what are we gonna have? Chit chat. Let's get to the combat moves. So from Northern England, 1 militia will move into Scotland. From Southern England, the air transport will pick up 1 airborne infantry, drop him off in Scotland. This is going to land in London. From Southern England, 2 fighters are going to fly up there to Scotland. One of them is going to land on the empty light carrier that's down in Sea Zone A20, and the other one will land back in Southern England. And then from Sea Zone, from Southern England, 1 naval transport will leave port to Sea Zone A21, move to A22, that's 1, back to in A21, it'll pick up from London infantry and a marine. Then it'll go to a second space to A21 and a third space to A17. So we'll have an infantry and a marine adding there. So we'll have 4 land units, 2 fighters. And then to give me the advantage from London, this fleet, which is a battleship, a battleship, a battlecruiser, and a coastal defense ship, will leave port to Sea Zone A22, move a first space to A21 and a second space to A17, and the battleship and battlecruiser will provide bombardment. All right, so then the second, what is my second combat move? Okay, from Gibraltar, 1 naval transport will leave port to Sea Zone M2 carrying a mountain and a marine. And it'll drop them off in Sardinia, which is mountainous. Scotland's mountainous too, by the way. Okay, so it'll be those 2 units plus this tactical bomber. The tactical bomber will have a range of 3. That's the second. Oh, and I'm going to use 2 heavy cruisers in Sea Zone M2 will provide bombardment into Sardinia. And then the last move, or the last combat, is from Sea Zone M4. 1 submarine will move to Sea Zone M2 and perform convoy raiding on the Italians. Since I have radar, I'll get +3. +2 for the sub, +1 for the radar. Let me just double check if I've missed anything. I think it's just those three combats. All right. Scotland. So I've got 3 at 1 because my marine, militia, and marine, militia, and infantry are all reduced to 1 in the mountain. Oh, first actually is 1 at 4. I've got 1 at 3 is my battle cruiser. God, I'm so sorry, discombobulated. 1 battle cruiser at 3. Nope. And 1 battleship at 4. Shoot, I was hoping for one of those to hit. Dang it. Okay, 3 at 1. Miss. And then I've got 1 at 2, which is my airborne. Miss. Oh God, this is not good. 2 at 6 is my fighters. 1 hit. God dang it. It's so frustrating. Okay, 4 at 4. It's all good if Panzer J misses here. Which he did. Good, okay. Well, that was with 16 pips, but now I have 12 pips. Okay, so I've got 4 at 1 because my airborne drops to... my airborne dropped to a 2, and in the mountains it got knocked down to a 1. And then I've got 2 at 6. 1 hit. He's got 3 at 4. Yep, 2 hits. Well, that's what he could have gotten last time. God dang it. Okay, so I'll lose the militia and the infantry. And he is down to a marine and an infantry. Hope he doesn't hit 2 times. That would suck. Okay. And I hope I can hit him 2 more times without that happening. 2 at 1. Miss. 2 at 6. Hit. He's got 2 at 4. Awesome. Okay, so he's down to 1 unit. 2 at 1. Oh, and I got the hit. And then he's got 1 at 2. Nope. Okay, well, all my complaining, but in the end, that's what I thought. I actually thought I would lose 3 units, not 2. So Scotland falls to a airborne and a marine. One of the planes goes to southern England. I'll deal with the planes after I finish all this combat. Okay, 1 up for Scotland goes to 24. 1 down for Germany goes to 44. All right, Sardinia. I've got 1 at 1. Oh, first I do my 2 bombardments at 2. 2 heavy cruiser bombardments at 2. Hey, all right. Okay, so that made that battle a lot easier. So Sardinia is captured by 1 mountain and 1 marine. Italy goes down to 12, and Great Britain goes up to 25. All right, and then I've got the convoy rating. Red is the attacker, white is the defender, +3. Okay, so I max out the line with 1 point of damage on the Italians. Let's see. I have Italy with 14 in the bank now. Okay, let's do non-combat movement. Okay, the air transport lands in London. One of the fighters comes down and lands on the light carrier in Sea Zone A27. So let me count that out for you about what happened. It went 1 to Northern England, 2 to Scotland, 3 to A17, 4 to A20, 5 to A27. That's what happened with that fighter. And then from Sea Zone, I didn't remember to write this down, but I was setting my militia up to remind me. 1 militia from Southern England moves to Northern England. I didn't really have to do that, I guess. Okay. Down here, got some naval movement out of Gibraltar. What are we doing here? Okay, 2 battleships, 1 heavy cruiser. It's this little force, this little task force here. 2 battleships, 1 heavy cruiser, 1 naval transport are gonna leave port to Sea Zone M2 carrying 1 anti-aircraft artillery. So these guys and this anti-aircraft artillery, they're in M2. Then they're gonna get joined by these guys, which is 1 light carrier, 2 British light cruisers, and 3 British destroyers. These guys are joining that little task force, and they're moving to Sea Zone M8. I don't think that Panzer J is going to want to engage and move into M8. Okay, so the tactical from Sardinia had a range of 3, 1 to M2, 2 to M4, 3 to land on the light carrier in M8. Alrighty. Did I wonder if did I skip something? That seems really thin. Oh, I know. Okay, from Sea Zone A27, there was a light carrier with a fighter. It moves 1, 2, 3. It moves A35, A44, M2, and joins this little task force in M2. So that is, plus the naval transport that dropped off there. Okay, so, well, I'll do this in disposition, sorry. From Mauritania, this medium bomber is going to fly to Cameroon. From Southwest Africa, this seaplane is going to fly 1, 2, 3 to 46, or 48, 4 to 46, 5 to A44, and 6 to land in Gibraltar. All right. Okay. Oh, from Lower Egypt, these 2 naval transports will leave port to M8. From Lower Egypt, the 2 heavy cruisers and 1 destroyer will leave port to I5, and then they will move to M8. Okay. From Transjordan, 1 infantry will move to Lower Egypt. From Sea Zone M8, 1 submarine will move to Sea Zone M6. That's the Ionian Sea up here. I guess that's fine. All right. Okay, from Southwest Africa, 1 infantry will move to Bukhanaland. From South Africa, 1 infantry will strategic rail to Cameroon. From South Africa, 1 infantry will move to Bukhanaland. All right. And then from Bengal, 2 Gurkhas will move to Calcutta. Yeah, I got the wrong. I can see for the artillery I got for the FEC, that wasn't the right color. Okay. Sorry about this delay. Mauritania, Africa. Okay, placement of units. So in Sydney, we will add another infantry. That'll bring us up to 5 infantry there, and we'll complete the fortification. Then in Calcutta, we will add a FEC artillery and a militia. So we'll have 3 militia in Calcutta, and 1 FEC artillery gets added to the Calcutta Task Force card. And then I've got the 2 Gurkhas. I'm going to put them in Benares. Let's do collect income for Anzac and FEC. Anzac's at 7. They didn't save any, so they end the turn with 7. FEC is at 14 plus 2 bonus income is 16, and they saved 3, So they end the turn with 19. Okay, let's place units for Britain. Over here in Lower Egypt, we're going to start that fortification. And we're going to add a colonial infantry and a MUM, a militia upgrade militia. So that is essentially adding 2 more infantry to Lower Egypt. This is built on the border here. And I'm going to take off the infantry that I walked over from Jan's Jordan, so that's basically, well, let's see, what is that? That's 11. Let's do a blue chip and a white chip, so total of 12 infantry. I had 9, added 3. Famous last words, I'm feeling pretty secure about that. But we'll see. Maybe pride cometh before the fall. All right. So, and then placement of units in London. Oh wait, I've got one more militia outside of London. I'm going to put it in Aden. Okay. And then in London, I'm building airborne. I predicted I would lose that. Didn't need to buy it after all. But I went with the most likely outcome. All right. Then collect income. I didn't save. Wait, did I save? I did. I saved 2. Oh, I still have a lend-lease. I'm lend-leasing a infantry to the Free French in Cameroon. All right. Now we've got collect income. I'm at 25 plus 3 bonus income, plus I saved 2. So I think I'm at 30 on the nose. Being an experienced British player, I didn't take 3 10s because I know I'm going to get convoy rated, so I'm ready to lose the money. Okay, that is the end. Oh, and I still have. Oh, I've got the roll for. I decided to PBE in case I didn't know if I would get the opportunity to capture Scotland, so I teed up a PBE roll. So the 2 destroyers, they get captured by the British on a 10, 11, or 12. They rolled a 4 and a 5, or PBE generated a 4 and a 5. The torpedo boat destroyer got scuttled on a 4. The 2 naval transports, one of them went British with a 10, the other one got scuttled with a 3. So I do get one of these German ships here in Scotland, gets converted. 4 of them are scuttled. One of them becomes British naval transport in port here, right on the seam there. All right. And then I did the recruitment roll for the Netherlands. I needed a 1. I did get the really rare 1/12 roll of 12. So I did not succeed in recruitment. France's turn. France has 5 IPP to spend. They will purchase 1 Foreign Legion for 4 and save 1. They will move this naval transport. It'll leave port to Sea Zone M2 or M4 and then move over to Gibraltar and go in port in Gibraltar. All right, and then this torpedo boat destroyer will leave port from southern England and move 1, 2, 3 down to A44 and go in port in Gibraltar. All right. And then this submarine from Sea Zone I-5 will move to M6. So 1 to M8, the Italians can't do anything about that. 2 to M4 and 3 to M6. Join the British sub there. All right. So let's see. Is there any other movement this turn? Nope, that's it. We place a Foreign Legion down here in Cameroon. We collect 5, and we saved 1, so we have 6 for next turn. Disposition. Up here in Scotland, 1 airborne infantry, 1 marine, 1 naval transport in port. In northern England, 1 militia. In southern England, 3 militia and 1 anti-aircraft artillery, 1 British fighter, 1 French fighter. Should the French move their fighter down? And so should the French move their bomber too? I didn't think that far ahead about the French aircraft. I am going to say no. For now, I'm just going to leave the French fighter there, I think. Where am I? No, I'm going to fly it down. I'm going to fly it down to Gibraltar. Well, god dang it. Should have thought this out ahead of time. What do I want to do? Sorry for the delay. I'm going to leave it there. Okay, so in London, 3 militia, 1 airborne infantry, 1 air transport, 1 anti-aircraft artillery. The Netherlands hasn't changed. In Sea Zone A27, oh god, you guys, I did write this down, but I skipped a combat movement. I skipped 2, let's see, yeah, 2 combat moves. Which page is it on? Okay, it's right here. Let's see if I can put it here, and hopefully it won't knock any pieces over. But I did put in that from Sea Zone A18, 1 destroyer comes off escort duty, moves to A19, and goes on escort duty. And from Sea Zone A18, 1 destroyer comes off escort duty, moves to A28, and goes on escort duty. So I want to move these 2 destroyers to escort duty. Hope that's the equivalent of having it marked. Escort duty. Yeah, these 2 destroyers should have been moved over. 1 to escort duty here, and the other escort duty down here. Okay. Afflicted by some OC tendencies. Okay. In Sea Zone A20, 1 destroyer on escort duty. In Sea Zone A28, 1 destroyer on escort duty. In Sea Zone A27, 1 light carrier with a fighter, 1 destroyer, 2 torpedo boat destroyers. In Gibraltar, 1... Oh, I'm going to fly this French bomber. I do want to fly that one to Lower Egypt. Or do I want to fly it down to Cameroon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think I'm going to fly it down to Cameroon. That's what I'll do. Okay. Now I'm going to fly it to Lower Egypt. So sorry, you guys. God dang it. This is why I need to decide before my turn what I'm going to do. Okay. Thank you. I think we were doing Gibraltar. 1 militia, 2 infantry, 1 seaplane, in port, 1 destroyer, 1 torpedo boat destroyer, 1 naval transport, In Sea Zone M2, 1 light carrier with a fighter, 2 heavy cruisers, 1 Anzac light cruiser, 1 Anzac destroyer, 1 British destroyer, 1 naval transport. In Sardinia, 1 mountain, 1 marine. In Malta, 1 militia. In Sea Zone M8, 1 coastal sub, 2 British subs, or 2 British naval transports, 1 Anzac naval transport, task force of 1 light carrier, 1 tactical, 2 battleships, 3 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, 4 destroyers. In Cyprus, a militia. In M6, 1 British submarine, 1 French submarine. In Lower Egypt, 1 militia, 12 infantry, 2... where's my anti-aircraft artillery? I thought I had an... Yeah, I put it on the rail here. There's 3 anti-aircraft artillery here. And 1 French medium bomber. There's the fortification on the border of Lower Egypt and Western Egypt. In Aden, there's a militia. In Bucanaland, 2 infantry. In Belgian Congo, 1 militia. In Cameroon, 1 French infantry, 1 British infantry, 1 Foreign Legion, 1 anti-aircraft artillery, and 1 British medium bomber. In Ceylon, 1 militia. In British Malaya, a militia. In Sarawak, a militia. In Calcutta, 3 militia, 2 British infantry, 10 FEC infantry, 2 Anzac infantry, 3 Gurkhas, 1 FEC artillery, 2 Anzac artillery, 2 British anti-aircraft artillery, 2 FEC anti-aircraft artillery. In Sydney, 1 militia, 5 infantry, 1 fortification, 1 motorized infantry, North and South Island with a militia each. Next up is Panzer J with 9.7 Italy.